First a fire, now a flood. Carnival Cruise Lines is hitting all of the natural disasters. Let's talk about it. Hey, what's going on, Adventure Fam? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a fantastic day. I hope your Tuesday is being blessed. And before we jump into the video, I want to take the next 10 seconds to invite you to subscribe. Our channel is slowly but surely growing, and we appreciate all the support, and we want you to be a part of the Adventure Fam. So hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell so you know when we post new videos, and drop a like for this video because it's going to be a good one today. And without further ado, let's jump into the story of the Carnival Sunrise. Now, yesterday we brought you a story of the Carnival Freedom and how the funnel of the Freedom and the wing of the Freedom caught fire for the second time in its history and its short tenure, actually. About 5 months ago, it got replaced. Well, we're bringing you a story of the Carnival Sunrise today, and I got to tell you, it wasn't a beautiful sunrise as we expect, because on the evening, going into the morning of March 23rd, which is this past Saturday, well, they experienced a flood on board, leaving 3, 4, 5, 6 inches of water in people's staterooms, in the hallways, in the in the main areas there, in the galleyways, you name it. There was floods on multiple decks, and that's what we're going to talk about today, because this is just it's a crazy story. So as I stated before, going into the morning of Saturday, March 23rd, there were some Carnival Sunrise passengers that were awoken and displaced because, well, they awoke to 3, 4, 5, 6 inches of water in some cases in their staterooms, water up to the ankles, floating trash cans, you name it. They were experiencing it, and this was happening on multiple decks. The water was running down the stairs. Crew was trying to, capture as much of it as possible, trying to clean it up. And we're going to show you some videos and some photos of this coming up here in a minute. So stay tuned for that. You're definitely going to want to see that. But this is what they awoke to on Saturday, March 23rd. Now, as social media gets ablaze and videos start coming out, there's one video that shows a user who was claiming to be in room 2293 on the Carnival Sunrise when there was 4 to 5 inches of water in their stateroom and there was floating trash cans. Another photo shows that the water was up to people's ankles here. Now, one of the things that the guests on board the ship were having an issue with was the lack of communication. Now, we've got some reports that some guests said that after they reported the incident in their room, there wasn't an announcement for like 10 or 20 minutes over the intercom from the captain. Now, some are saying that this thing was going on for 3-4 hours before the captain came on board. And when the captain came on the intercom and basically said, hey, look, everything's okay, everything's operating normally, I think people were a little peeved that they would say that. Now, I think what the captain was probably trying to say in that instance is, look, we've looked at all the mechanical issues. We looked to see if there was a mechanical problem, a burst pipe, something of that nature. And I think that's what they meant by it's operating normally. But at the same time, I don't think that's what you want to hear as a guest. Now, the captain does think that maybe this was weather related, because it is important to note that the Sunrise was going through a major storm for about 20 or 30 minutes. They were kind of going through the middle of a massive storm at the time. There were some storms out in the Bahamas area, so they were coming through a storm. So some guests say that they thought it might have been a burst pipe, but they're also saying that it could have been weather related, maybe water coming in the doors that were not sealed properly, things of that nature. I think some of the issue is kind of the timing of the communication, of some people saying that he waited 4 hours. Some people though said that they heard an announcement 20-30 minutes into it. So I'm not sure what's true. If you were on that ship, definitely let us know. Let us know what the truth is behind the communications of the flooding and from the captain and kind of what came over the intercom. But I think that's the main issue that some of these guests are having, is the lack of communication. There was no indication that the crew wasn't trying to work as hard as they could to get this water displaced and in the proper places. It was just more so all the comments and concerns that I saw were related to kind of the communication of it all. There's also some photos and reports of people having to go and congregate in the theater or in the main lobby areas, and some were even wearing life jackets as if they expected that there might be some kind of evacuation going on. Obviously, if you don't know where the flooding's coming from, you don't know how serious it's going to be, you don't know how bad it's going to get. I think some passengers were taking it to that next level of like, hey, if we're going to evacuate, I'm going to have my life jacket on already. But does look like they were able to make it back to the port of Miami safely after their 5-night cruise. Now, the silver lining in all this is it happened kind of in the wee hours of them returning back to the port of Miami, it appears, and so it could have happened on a much worse time, the first, second night of the cruise, something like that, but it does look like they were able to get back to Miami a few hours later, and actually there was no injuries, there was nothing reported, and the ship, the Carnival Sunrise, actually was able to get the ship ready to turn around and actually go back on another 5-night sailing that night. So it doesn't look like there probably was a mechanical error or mechanical issue, I should say, or a burst pipe, because they were able to turn the ship around pretty quickly to get them out for that next 5-night sailing. So that's good. You always want to hear good outcomes for these for these stories, but I get it's an inconvenience for some of the people that were on board. Maybe their luggage got waterlogged or some other things, but at least they made it back safely. Carnival was able to get back, but look, Carnival's been in the news lately for some things, and look, some of the things you can control, some you can't, but they're also doing good things as well. There's some recent stories about them raising money, $25,000 or $50,000 for Operation Homefront, which is awesome, and so it's not all negative on the Carnival. It's just something that happened, and I've never been on a cruise that's happened to, so I don't know how I would react. If you have, let us know. But I just wanted to bring you that quick story because I saw it come across my feed, and I thought, here we go again with Carnival. But looks like the crew kind of did what they had to do to get that ship turned around, and so that's awesome on them. Let us know your thoughts below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel because we want you to be a part of the Adventure fam, and go out and have a blessed Tuesday, and we love you, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.